Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Thirsty? I certainly am. It's Thirsty Thursday. Yay! Cheers. Here's to Thursdays. Thursdays are great days. Am I right? There's my girl, Nancy. Jeanette, Jocelyn, Catherine, Jackie, all in the house. There's my girl, Jama. So good to have you aboard. And of course, the entire dream team is here. Say hello to Lindsay and to Amber and Jenny. Resolute Jenny, by the way. Have you seen her? She's like knocking it out of the park. I'm so proud of you, Jenny. Anyway, I'm so glad you're all here. We're having a good time already. And the fact that you're here, well, that's everything. That is everything. Got some stuff to talk about. I've got plenty of announcements. And let me just tell you right now, up front, and those of you who are here earlier you should be proud of yourself, Jenny. Good grief. I'm proud. I mean, we all should be so proud of ourselves. We should walk around with things. You know what? I'm pretty proud of myself. You know what? High five. You know what? I did that. Take credit. That's one of the things we as women don't do. We kind of push it off and don't take credit for ourselves and for what our accomplishments and what we've done. And before we get into all of this, and I also have an amazing sale that we've never done before. So hold on, buckle up, because when I tell you about this, I know you're all going to go there, and I'm talking limited amounts of what I'm telling you about. Okay. You ready for that? Joanne in the house. So glad you're here. Jane's here. Y'all, Jane's here. So we can have a party. I want to bring something to your attention. Yesterday, I was fortunate to have, hi, Vanessa. Jeanette says she's glad I didn't cut my hair. No, it's all here. But that's what I'm going to be talking about here in just half a second. So yesterday I had it has been a long time. Tanya, Angie, Corliss, hello. I had a podcast that I did. It was a video podcast with a dear friend of mine, Tammy Moralia. She's a double board certified doctor. We've been friends for years. And she said, I've just started this up. Will you, be one of my guests and support me and all of that? And I said, of course I will, because first of all, I love her. Second of all, she's incredible. And you'll know, because when the podcast goes live, I'm going to let you know all about it. And then I texted her, yesterday morning. He said, is this video? And she said, oh yeah, it's video. And I was like, I'm glad I asked. And so after I did the show yesterday, I went and fluffed up, hot curlers, the whole 9 yards. And my hair turned out pretty good. I thought, yeah, pretty good. Do I really want to cut my hair? So I put a post after I did the podcast. I did a selfie. I'm not wild about doing selfies. You know that. I made a post and said, cut it or keep it. And I got some comments back. And you want to hear something? I got a couple of comments. I have not looked at that just yet. Emily, Autumn, Deborah, all in the house. Yay. I've not looked at all the comments since I haven't checked Facebook, since whatever, yesterday. I got a couple of comments that just made me say, are you kidding me? And I'm going to address them right now because I don't want to be harsh with anyone. I'm not going to call people out. But what I am going to do is bring us back to the point of attraction, shall we say, of ageism and being, following directions, shall we say. So I had one post that I said, should I keep it or should I cut it? Lots of people, keep. Lots of people, sure, cut it. I mean, it's hair, grow it, whatever you want to do. And, I kind of figured that, but it was just fun to just sort of, even though I've got some kind of weird little business going on over here, it was just fun to ask and just, stir the pot a little bit. And I got someone who said, well, older women should cut their hair, something along those lines. And I was like, really? Older women should cut their hair. Did anybody get that memo? I just want to know if anybody got the memo. Just asking. That was one thing, which kind of got a little under my skin, not gonna lie. And because was that what I asked? What did I ask? I said, should I cut it or keep it? My question was very simple: cut or keep. Then another woman decided to come on and give me a critique on my eye makeup and that it was too harsh. And this is, why I'm saying all of this? Because really, honestly, I could just let it go and not say anything. But I expected more from my community is really the truth. I expected more because we don't do that to each other, do we? If you ask me a point blank question, I'm going to answer you in the best of my ability, but I'm not going to weasel my way into some place and say, oh, and by the way, your makeup sister, really? Or, older women should, because older women should do whatever the hell they want to. Pinkies up. Why do we do this to each other? It really, did you notice it, Alice? Well, thank you, Jeanette. You are so sweet. And I'm not a regular selfie picture taker. I'm not really all into that whole thing. But you know what I'm into right now? I am into taking responsibility for yourself and just maybe being a little playful, maybe being a little bit fun, maybe saying, hey, come along board. I'm going to make a big decision on maybe, cutting several inches off of my hair. But the thing is, as women, we are here to hold one another up. I've got your back, and man, oh man, I expect you to have mine too. I don't need to be torn down, and you don't need to tear anyone down. And I'm saying this you in a generic form. I'm not pointing to anyone. Nobody who's ever been here on my show, by the way. You would all know better than that. We're here to love one another. How can we do that better? How can we do that better? What I wanted to do this morning, if I'd had time, I had all kinds of stuff going on this morning, was show up with some big false eyelashes on and wrap my hair out to Kingdom Come. Just because I was feeling a little pissy. Can we just say it? And I'm going to tell you, though, that this is my example that I'm giving you, but I'm telling you, every single woman that I'm speaking to right now that can hear my voice, your job as a woman here on purpose and for purpose is to see your fellow woman and lift her up in any way that you can. And when she asks you a question, you answer that. And if you have an invested relationship, then you can say, hey, unsolicited advice, but can we talk about something? If you're that close and if you're in person. Otherwise, back off and don't be that bee, right? Don't be that bee. The world is full of critical people. The world is full of tearing down and one-upsmanship and all of that. Women need to build one another up. Period. End of story. So, you know what? I'm going to rock my 63 years and 11 months and counting. I'm going to rock it with long hair, short hair. I'm going to rock it with black eyeliner, which I don't wear, by the way. I wear brown eyeliner. And I wear heavier makeup when I'm on camera. Get used to it. It's none of your damn business. So there you go. I'm just letting that off my shelf. And, I'm using that as an example because that's what personally happened to me. I'm using that as an example because as women, we are called to something so much higher. Do we have to be that low? Do we have to bring down everyone on our own behalf? Lynn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Lynn, beautiful. You seen Lynn? Gorgeous, in her 70s. Beautiful, rocking that long hair, girlfriend. And Joanne, you too. I'm tired of this. Not only am I calling women out to stop being invisible and to start showing up in their life, I'm also calling them out to stop hammering other women. We're better than that. So there. Am I done with that? I'm putting some pinkies up on that one. Boy, I got a little worked up. It took me 10 minutes to get it all out. There, you're exactly right, Jenny. You are exactly right. Yeah, I mean, we are there. People do say stupid things, Angie. They do. They hide behind keyboards and social media accounts and do all kinds. And beautiful, speaking of beautiful older women, Jane, come on, stepping up. I love every single one of you. I love your olderness. And I love that we rock who we are. And with this kind of foolishness, we bring it down. It's so low vibe. That's not pinkies up, that's pinkies down, right? Okay, I've spit, I've emoted, I've let it go, baby. Yeah, if you have that relationship where you can critique, yeah, and it is a very small circle. Amber, you're 100% right. It's a very itsy bitsy circle. It's an itsy bitsy circle. And when we invite them in too, you know, it's an invitation. It's not just, hey, I'm just going to say whatever. It just shows you that the emotional intelligence level may not be there. So anyway, I am speaking on behalf of every woman who is over the age of whatever you're over the age of. We won't tolerate that kind of garbage anymore, right? Elon Musk said, when something is important enough, you do it even though the odds aren't in your favor. You know? Thank you, Elon Musk, for all of that. All right, so that's the quote. And you know, Hot Melt 30 is still on, still hot, still doing the thing. And here we are. It's the 14th of April. What if you jumped on the bandwagon? I hate that word, but what else? Right now. savingdinner.com/30, THRTY. Can I spell 30? Yes, I can. You can watch the webinar replay and can find out what this is all about. And also, take a look at all the women who are in this community who are doing this work. Yeah, it is a little bit of work, right? And sometimes it's a little difficult, and sometimes you're feeling like, oh, the struggle's real. But I'll tell you what, when you've got your sisters behind you, and when you have this community as vibrant and as giving and encouraging as it is, you know, it's almost a guarantee, isn't it? Have you noticed the difference? Anyone? Difference? Absolutely right. The other thing that I want to tell you about, look at this. It is work, but I'm already feeling the benefits in just 14 days. Well, look at Jenny's face. Good grief. She puts her, you know, if Jenny, you know what you need to do? Take your profile picture and take your picture that your selfie that and put them side by side. You need that on your monitor, and you need that. This is a reminder. It's, you know, inflammation is just going boop, 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 you know, all of it. It's so much. It's so fantastic. Yeah, Lynn's right. She said it's great to have the support. And Lynn is one of our many success stories, and she's beautiful and vibrant. And we, you know, we love her. You can feel the inflammation. Yeah, I love that. That's why we're here, by the way. That's why we do what we do. That's why I'm passionate. And that's why I will not tolerate any takedowns. Takedowns are garbage. All right. Supplement of the week. Speaking of inflammation, look, it's InflaCrusher, y'all. This is when you need to get on board. Buy 3, get 1 free. And you guys are running it out the door. I do not blame you, because this is how we get it all done, right? Part of our whole quest, our whole quest is for that vibrant health that we want, so we can live that vibrant life. And the weight loss, that's just, you know, part and parcel, right? That's not why we're about that. And that's the difference between what we do and what the diet culture does, that we have all, has everybody had their card canceled? I certainly have. I've said, I've checked out. I said, I no longer want to be a part of this club. I want to be a part of the club where vibrancy is the thing. Yeah, that's something to get excited about. Q&As tomorrow, and I'm just going to tell you right now, do it next week. Okay, we have so many questions. So if you still want to send it in, we might still take it. But I'm telling you, lots and lots of questions. I love when you send in questions, though. Send them to support@savingdinner.com, and in that subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, I will get to it. I will give you a nice, thorough answer. That's what I want to do for you. Okay? That's the other thing the other thing that we have is, oh my goodness, have you seen it? We have text messages, and I got my Easter menu thingy or whatever, because we sent free menus, free this, free that, and special codes. We did all of that. We send all of it, right? Via text message. That's where all the secret sauce is, by the way. If you need secret sauce, we all do. All you have to do is text the word join, all in caps, to 855-960-3720, and you'll get added to our list. And then we're going to ask you to do one more thing, and that's to reply yes when we send you a message to confirm your subscription. Again, those are all in caps, join and yes. Got that? Lastly is April 23rd. I mean, you got to be there, because this is an all-day event where we're going to talk about making magic in your life, because this, to me, is absolutely the secret and the pathway to success in your life, to get the vibrant life that you want and to find your purpose. I can't even contain myself. It's all virtual, and you get the replay. You get this incredible swag bag. Come on, savingdinner.com/bloom. And just one more thing, put July 29th and 30th in your calendar and start thinking about coming here for Full Bloom in person. I want to hug you up. So if that's something that maybe might be a part of your journey, just put it aside. Get your airline reservations and make a reservation for a hotel or Airbnb, because, those things go fast. Fast, fast, fast. So Thirsty Thursday, let's get thirsty. I've got some things for you, because we've been talking all this week about, hot milk mix. Oh, this is what it looks like, y'all. It's this great big heavy container. Exogenous ketones, the whole shooting match. Makes you feel good. Lynn, I can't wait to meet you. I'm going to hug you all up and down. You know that. It's just going to be too much fun. So we've been talking this week about deliberate creation, and I love this topic because it does tell us something, doesn't it? It tells us that we don't have to just lay back on the ground and just say, okay, whatever, God, shoot, shoot, whatever, whatever you want to do. Listen, He created us in His image, on purpose, for purpose, fearfully and wonderfully made. We know that. So don't you think that part of what it is that we're going to do in this life has to do with deliberate creation? Yeah, we've been talking about it this week, and I say absolutely 100%. But secondarily, we have to also understand that in order to have deliberate creation, we have to be deliberate creators. There's a process. Of course there is. There's a process for everything. So first of all, what is it that we have to get into, and where are we going to do this whole thing, deliberate creation? Well, oftentimes it's like, I'm stuck. I need help with something. I need a solution to something. I have a situation here, or I need an idea for something, fill in the blank. And, that's our answer, that we're looking for deliberate creation to fill in that void for the thing that we're needing an answer to. And in order to do this, we have to also understand there's neuroscience involved, and there's a creative process that our brain uses that we need to be honoring to. James Clear was really good about this. And I'm going to kind of go through some of the steps that he had for, problem solving, but I also believe for creating deliberate creation in your life. So let's look at this. I always love to use like some kind of a metaphor or whatever, so that we can, figure it out from there. I like to think about redecorating, because one of the things that I enjoy doing, and decorating can be intimidating because, not all of us are interior designers, and we see things on Pinterest, or we see things in a magazine or on social media or whatever. We're thinking, dang, I wish I could do that. Or, ooh, how do you put all that together? Well, it's a process. And part of the whole thing is sometimes it comes from mixing old with the new, so that you can figure it out. And in decorating too, we don't just go and say, that's it. Burn down the house and build a new house so I can redecorate. No, we take what we have. We have the same old sofa or whatever. And maybe it's a matter of painting the walls a different color, adding an accent piece over here, or a new coffee table or a new tablescape, something new on the mantle. One of the things that I did in my house was I didn't like the stone on our fireplace. It wasn't exciting. So what I did was I whitewashed it, and I learned how to do it, good old, I don't know, whatever it was that taught me how to do it. I think it was a Pinterest pin that I found and learning how to do that. And in a morning it was done and it looked crazy, wonderful. So you don't get rid of everything unless you've got barrels of cash that you're just wanting to, use up. But you could possibly change, even rearrange things so that it can change up your room. And that's sometimes what it is. It's a mixing of the old and mixing of the new. So I use that example because that's something that I did personally myself. And it made all the difference in the world. I didn't have to start from scratch. I started with some solid pieces, and then I added to them. Okay. So James Clear says there are 5 steps to creatively connect to a deliberate vision. At least that's the part that I put in. He's saying problem solving. I'm saying deliberate creation. And the first one is to gather new material. You got to start with learning. If you're in the place of redecorating, for example, you can't just say, well, I like this color and I like that color. And, your living room ends up looking like, it's a little cockamamie and crazy. And maybe things sort of go together, but it's just kind of a mixed bag. You have to first make a declaration of, I'm going for this kind of a feel. I like traditional. I like, boho is a big deal, or I like more of a contemporary design. I like this or whatever. But when you understand that, you can still combine elements, but you understand aesthetically what you want to try to do. So for me, one of the things that I picked up as I was reading, like, how do you do this? Is you got to start with kind of a board. And with that board, you want to put the colors together and the different things that you need. So for example, maybe this is your sofa, swatch from your sofa, if you can do one of those, or, get a kind of an idea or a color. These are some colors that you like. This is a color that's in a rug. And then you start putting all those things together, and then you start adding some texture, and then you get some paint swatches and you start doing it a little bit. And that's how it starts specifically coming together. And then maybe you need to learn a couple of new skills so that you can actually start creating this painting, or a couple of carpentry skills. Listen, I've been watching some TikToks of some women. By the way, you should be following me on TikTok. You know that, right? It's at Saving Dinner. If you go to TikTok, that's us. And give us lots of love over there, if you will. Because we are, we're burning the candle. Listen, we're burning the candle on both ends, trying to get this stuff going over there. And we are doing that because there are women there who need us, right? Come on down. That's what we want to do. But I had to learn some different skills. I've been watching these women on TikTok. I mean, like, redo their bathroom by themselves, pull up old tile and take things out and do plumbing. Super impressive. It just tells you, if you want to learn something new, it's all teachable. I've told you my story before that I taught myself how to fix my own fireplace when an electrician and a plumber couldn't fix it. It was a gas fireplace. I was trying to sell my house, and it had a little light switch for the gas logs. It wouldn't work. Plumber couldn't fix it. Electrician couldn't fix it. And so finally I had the little pamphlet, or, the manual that they give you. And I looked up the number and I put it in to YouTube and said, how to fix blah, blah, gas logs. And then they gave me a step-by-step, and I did it and I fixed it. Everything's at our fingertips. We can learn. We don't have to necessarily have somebody come down and, save the day for us. I love that part, because it puts not the onus and the responsibility naturally on me, but it gives us an opportunity to really see what it is that we can do. and how smart we are. You're so smart. Did you know that? Has anybody told you that today? Well, I am. Listen up, because you are. Number 2 is thoroughly work through what's required in your head. So when you're doing this, you're just thinking, okay, so if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need a jigsaw. I watched a woman take these IKEA bookshelves. You know, IKEA is cheap, but you can make it look nice. IKEA bookshelves, and then she wanted some like archway things. So there were cabinets below, and then bookshelves, and then she built these arches that she put over, and she's taken a piece of plywood and jigsaw through all of them and making these beautiful arches. Then she, did all the painting. She even put some molding on it, and new hardware and stuff. The thing was beautiful. She did the whole thing for $1,000. Unless that sounds like a lot of money, it was her entire huge wall. And guess what? It would have cost, if she had had a carpenter come out and put that would have been 10 grand, $1,000, all from being just a little bit creative and saying, I can do it. In other words, it's all figure outable. And that's the first step to being a deliberate creator who's deliberately creating the life they want to live in their whole life, right? I think this is exciting. Can you tell? I love this stuff. So then you're going to put it on paper. You're going to examine it from all angles. Does the couch really go here? Whatever. Is this going to work? Is this how this whole thing works? I'm using decorating as an example. Obviously, anything that we're trying to deliberately create in our lives requires this kind of intense scrutiny. And number 3 is to step away and let it marinate. That's one of my favorite things to do, by the way. And especially if it's a problem, you want to creatively solve it. Well, throw a bunch of stuff on it and put it all out there. And don't put yourself in a corner where say, I've got to have this solved today, unless it's, if it has a time to it where it's going to expire, whatever, and you need to do it. Yeah, that's whatever. But what I've found is sometimes it just needs a minute to cool off. Like if you pulled, your steak off the grill, you need to leave those steaks. You need to let those steaks sit for 5 minutes, because otherwise, if you cut them right into them, the juice is going to go everywhere. So if we don't do that and we hold on to them for just 5 minutes and slightly undercook them, put a little butter over the top. When we cut into that steak, we're going to go, ooh la la. That is one good looking steak because we gave it a minute. That's how it is when we're trying to do this. And sometimes when we're going through this type of a process, we'll just wake up in the middle of the night and go, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. And I've had that happen to me a few times. And other times it's just like it hits you with lightning. You're driving and, oh yeah, that's it. So we need to give ourselves that kind of space to creatively anticipate the answer coming, because sometimes that's how it does. And number 4 is we just need to allow for the allowing. In other words, be open to whatever comes your way. The ideal will return along with the solution because you've already done the work. Isn't that great? And now you're giving it all kinds of space. Let me tell you a story. This is a great story. So when we moved from Boulder here to Brevard, and this is in 2019, and we rented a house. I think, a lot of you know the story and followed me when we were making this big move. And we rented this house on top of a mountain and what have you. And Marla and Robert went and looked at the house for us and took videos of this is what it looks like and this is what it's all about. And it was great. And that is exactly where we ended up moving. Well, as we moved, I remember explaining to Marla that I was having shipping issues with the company that we were using to do all of our fulfillment for our supplements. And she was just, she listened and she would tell me things. And this is what we did because, this is number 5, by the way, is to shape and develop your idea and your solution on feedback. I shared with her to a trusted audience, her, because she knew me, 1, and we were great friends for so many years. And 2, we were also peers. We both We were both running our own businesses, both for about the same time. We both watched each other kind of blossom and bloom into our businesses and go from just this is an idea to now I'm running a business here with people and products and all kinds of things. And suddenly, there's things you got to learn. And so it's when we ask for feedback on anything, it needs to be with the appropriate people. You don't just open it up to the whole world. Isn't that funny? I'm saying this and, considering everything that I said at the beginning of the show, maybe that was a mistake, but I thought it was a trusted audience and appropriate, interesting. But this is releasing your idea for feedback, maybe some critique like, hey, have you considered this? Maybe this is something, this idea is a great idea, but maybe you want to do this. But you choose who you share it with, right? And in my case, because I shared it with somebody I trusted and knew and what have you, the answer came right out of Marla's lips, didn't it? And she said, and because she was completely knowledgeable, she knows about shipping, right? She knows about all of that. And she said, have Mark do it. Blew me right out. Some days it takes him a whole heck of a lot longer to do all of that himself. And sometimes I help him, but we shrunk our team deliberately, saved a boatload of money. And also we're able to keep our shipping costs in line and not have to raise them exorbitantly and et cetera, et cetera. The solution came from a trusted source. And that's how it is sometimes. So we have to be very, very particular who we share things with, because if you are in the mode of creative, deliberate creation, then you need to make sure that your audience is set for if you're going to release it out to the masses, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think that's where it all was. And those are just some ideas on how you get into that deliberately creative process so that you're ready to go and you're ready to release and you're ready to go to the next level in your life. What about that? Now, one thing I forgot to tell you about, and I'm going to tell you about right now. We have a 50% off sale. If you know us, we've never done this. We are clearing out the warehouse right now. And in it, there's all kinds of stuff. We've got mugs. We've got, we just have a lot of stuff, a little odds, a little ends. And their quantities are severely, there are no rain checks. It's first come, first serve. When they're gone, they're gone. There will be no replacements. Okay. savingdinner.com/sale. Very limited quantities. When they're gone, they're gone. And I anticipate they'll probably be gone in a few days. So take advantage of that. We're clearing the deck. We need to. I'm also, nobody knows this yet, not even you, Jenny, but I'm talking to our formulator about a couple of other formulations that we may want to get into the shop. We need the room. So that's one of the reasons why we are clearing the decks. Now, you're going to see the Take Back Your Life journals in there, by the way. You are. And they are definitely on sale. And I will sign them and I will send them. And that is because there may be a new Take Back Your Life journal on the way. Just saying. And let me just say, all right, yes. We took your feedback. We polled you all. We took your feedback and we created, it's new. It's a little bit bigger and it's amazing. I know, Jenny. Jenny's giving me grief. Not you too, Jenny. All right. Well, listen, I just want to say to you that I adore you all. You are my community and I love you. And thank you for putting up with my little rant at the very beginning of the show. But you know what? You're my girls, and I gotta say what's on my mind. I hope it wasn't too harsh. I don't mean it to be harsh, but I do expect something from you that I don't expect from the rest of the world, and that is that you hold each other up, and you are the kind of women that other women want to be with because they can trust you. Be that kind of woman, will you? Pinkies up. Peace be with you. Love you back so much, Martha. Thank you again for joining me today. I really love you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.